Welcome back to the Clueless Catholic Podcast. And today we are doing Exodus 16 through 20, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have short-term memory loss. All right. So last week we ended with the plagues. Are there still more plagues?
No, we didn't end with the plagues.
Oh, that was week
Come
before.
out, Red Sea.
Red Sea parted. Everybody's left. Okay.
Pharaoh's army gets drowned.
That's right. The chariots are at the bottom of the sea.
Goodness.
I was thinking 2 weeks ago then.
Yeah.
Funny how time flies when you're having fun.
Especially when you record them all in one day.
Well, we have to record them all in one day because somebody is having surgery in a couple of weeks. So we got to get these done. So I don't have to bother you while you're recovering.
Yes.
So there.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't have said that except we're in the same outfits, so.
I was going to change.
Well, but you didn't.
Should I put on my jacket? Because it's really going to be that jacket like every week. Anyway. Ooh, are you taking pictures, Bear?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, sorry. Okay. So are we starting?
Chapter 16. The Desert of Sin.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not the dessert.
No, only one S.
Only one S. Okay.
So, having set out from Elim, the whole Israelite community came into the Desert of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month.
Of the year?
Well, the 15th day of the second month, just one full month after they departed from Egypt. They encamped in the Desert of Sin on Friday. The murmuring occurred on the Sabbath. The arrival, I won't read the rest of that because that'll spoil the next part.
Oh.
So,
I probably wouldn't remember anything.
This is going to become a common theme.
Okay.
Here in the desert, the whole Israelite community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The Israelites said to them, they grumbled, they complained. The Israelites said to them, "Would that we have died at the Lord's hand in the land of Egypt, as we sat by our flesh pots and ate our fill of bread. But you had to lead us into the desert to make the whole community die of famine."
So he freed them from slavery.
Yes.
And now they're complaining that they're no longer
First
slaves.
they were complaining they didn't have water, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Now they're complaining they don't have food.
Okay.
Because they had to leave in a hurry. They didn't have time to prepare food. Now, keep in mind, they still have all their flocks with them. So what their problem is, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
They don't want to eat their flocks yet.
Apparently not. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will now rain down bread from heaven for you. Each day the people are to go out and gather their daily portion. Thus I will test them, to see whether or not they follow my instructions. On the sixth day, however, when they prepare to bring what they bring in, let it be twice as much as they gather on other days." So Moses and Aaron told all the Israelites, "At evening, you will know that it is the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning, you will see the glory of the Lord as he heeds your grumbling against him. When the Lord gives you flesh to eat in the evening, and in the morning your fill of bread, as he heeds the grumbling you utter against him, what then are we? Your grumbling is not against us, but against the Lord." So Moses is saying, you're not really complaining to us, you're complaining about God. Knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron then tells Moses then tells Aaron to tell the people that he's heard them. In the evening, quail came up and covered the camp, and in the morning, a dew lay about the camp. When the dew evaporated, there on the surface of the desert were fine flakes like hoarfrost on the ground. On seeing it, the Israelites asked one another, "What is this?" For they did not know what it was.
I don't either.
But Moses told them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat."
The flakes were?
Well, it's probably frosted flakes. They were great.
Great.
Good
Good one.
Yeah. I've been hanging around you too long. So then he gives them some regulations that nobody can hoard it. You can't take more than you were going to eat. Whatever you take more than you eat will immediately spoil.
Oh, okay.
On the 6th day, you take twice as much because why?
The 7th day you rest.
That's right. So that way you have it. So it'll stay on the, it'll not spoil on that 6th day.
Okay.
Okay. The Israelites called the food manna. It was like coriander seed, but white, and it tasted like wafers made with honey. See, frosted flakes.
Frosted flakes. I like that. They have milk?
No.
Oh,
Well, they had flocks, so maybe.
maybe.
Probably goat's milk.
Yeah. So it's like I have this pictured in my mind. It's just raining down these things, the flakes
Could
raining
be.
down.
It's like outside right now.
It's snowing.
I am going to jump forward to the New Testament
Oh,
to draw a correlation that Jesus drew. So in John chapter 6, verse 32 and 33, Jesus said to them, Amen, amen, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you bread from heaven. My Father gives you true bread from heaven. For bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Now we know that he goes on to explain that he says it in the very next verse, I am the bread of life. We draw that correlation to the Eucharist and why there's daily Eucharist is there's daily manna. There's a lot of Christological correlations between everything happening in Exodus and everything that happens in the new church and the church today.
that's cool.
Yeah. So the Israelites ate this manna for 40 years until they came and settled the land. They ate manna until they reached the borders of Canaan. What? Okay. Oh, this is also pretty important. So Moses then told Aaron, take an urn and put an omer of manna in it. Then
What of manna?
hang on.
Oh.
Then place it before the Lord in safekeeping for your descendants. At verse 36, it says an omer is 1/10 of an ephah.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah. There's a note though down here. Oh. It only discusses what the urn is. So an ephah is a measure of grain. I don't know how much that is. I'm sure there's biblical scholars that know, but I am not a biblical scholar. So
Okay.
it just imagine a golden urn filled with manna that doesn't spoil for future descendants to see proof of what God had done.
Okay.
Do you know where that goes eventually?
Where?
Well, you'll find out.
Okay.
It'll be a while, but you'll find out.
Okay.
All right. So from the desert of sin to the whole Israelite community, journeyed by stages as the Lord directed and encamped at Rephidim. Sure. There was no water. Oh boy, here we go again. For the people to drink. They quarreled, therefore, with Moses and said, give us water to drink. Moses replied, why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to a test? Here then, in the thirst for water, the people grumbled against Moses, saying, why did you ever make us leave Egypt? Was it just to have us die here of thirst with our children and our livestock? So Moses cried out to the Lord, what shall I do with these people? A little more, and they will stone me. The Lord answered Moses, go over there in front of the people, along with some of the elders of Israel, holding in your hand as you go the staff which you struck the river. I will be standing there in front of you on the rock in Horeb. Strike the rock, and the water will flow from it for the people to drink. This Moses did in the presence of the elders of Israel. The place is called Massa and Meribah because the Israelites quarreled there and tested the Lord, saying, is the Lord in our midst or not? Massa and Meribah are Hebrew words meaning respectively, the place of test and the place of quarreling. The Israelites were very literal when they named things.
I guess so.
All right, so at Rephidim, Amalek came and waged war against Israel. The Amalekites were an aboriginal people of southern Palestine and the Sinai Peninsula, just so you know. Moses therefore said to Joshua, "Pick out certain men and tomorrow go out and engage Amalek in battle. I will be standing on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand." So Joshua did as Moses told him. He engaged Amalek in battle after Moses had climbed to the top of the hill with Aaron and Hur, H-U-R.
I was going to say, her who?
As long as Moses kept his hands raised up, Israel had the better part of the fight. But when he let his hands rest, Amalek had the better of the fight. Moses' hands, however, grew tired, so they put a rock in place for him to sit on. Meanwhile, Aaron and Hur supported his hands, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady till sunset. And Joshua mowed down the Amalek and his people with the edge of a sword.
Isn't that cheating? And that reminds me of that one show that we were trying to watch.
Oh, yes.
I forget what that's called.
I don't know, but
It's funny, but it's, I don't know, it's a little too
funny.
A little too funny. I'm just the right about,
Yeah,
the right amount of funny.
sure
That's,
you are. The church has always taught that this is kind of like intercessory prayer,
ah,
where they're holding up Moses's hands. To me, I take it a level deeper, and it's prayer for our priests, specifically for the battle that they have to go through. Or to lift them up, hold them up.
I've never heard of that, Michael.
Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write down this in a document as something to be remembered and recite it in the ears of Joshua. I will completely blot out the memory of Amalek from under the heavens." Moses also built an altar there, which he called Yahweh Nisi, which means the Lord is my banner. For he said, "The Lord takes in his hand his banner, and the Lord will win war against Amalek through the centuries." So we jump forward to chapter 18. This is the first of many battles. But then Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, the priest of Midian, heard all that God had done for Moses and for his people in Israel, how the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. So his father-in-law Jethro took along Zipporah, Moses' wife, whom Moses had sent back to him, and her 2 sons. One of these was called Gershom, for he had said, I am a stranger in a foreign land. The other was called Eleazar, for he said, my father's God is my helper. He has rescued me from Pharaoh's sword. Together with Moses' wife and sons, then, his father-in-law Jethro came to him in the desert where he was encamped near the mountain of God. He sent word to Moses, I, Jethro, your father-in-law, am coming to you, along with your wife and 2 sons. I'm not going to read all the rest of this, but they go out, they meet, they kiss. He bows down. Jethro rejoiced over all the goodness that the Lord had shown Israel. Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, brought a holocaust and other sacrifices to God, and Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to participate with Moses' father-in-law in a meal before God. The next day, Moses sat in judgment for the people, who waited for him from morning until evening. When his father-in-law saw all that he was doing for these people, he inquired, what sort of thing is this that you are doing for the people? Why do you sit alone while all the people have to stand about you from morning till evening? And then Moses answered his father-in-law, the people come to me to consult God. Whenever they have a disagreement, they come to me to settle the matter between them and make it known God's decision and regulation. His father-in-law said, "You are not acting wisely, like so many father-in-laws. You surely wear yourself out, not only yourself, but also the people with you. The task is too heavy and you cannot do it alone. Now listen to me. I will give you some advice that God may be with you. Act as these people's representative before God, bringing to him whatever they have to say. Enlighten them in regards to the decisions and regulations, showing them how they are to live and what they are to do. But you should also look among all the people for able and God-fearing men, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and set them as officers over groups of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. Let these men render decisions for the people in all ordinary cases. More important cases they should refer to you, but the lesser cases they can settle themselves. Moses followed the advice of his father-in-law and did all that he suggested.
He listened to his father-in-law.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson.
What are you trying to say?
You should listen to your father-in-law.
Yeah. I do. So he names all of these people, and they take a lot of the work off of Moses, basically.
He just created assistant managers.
Judges, but yes.
Delegation.
So then we go to chapter 19. This is where they arrive at Sinai. In the third month after their departure from the land of Egypt, on its first day, the Israelites came to the desert of Sinai. After the journey from Rephidim to the desert of Sinai, they pitched camp. While Israel was encamped here in front of the mountain, Moses went up the mountain to God. Then the Lord called to him and said, "Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, tell the Israelites that you have seen for yourselves how I treated the Egyptians, and how I bore you up on eagle's wings and brought you here myself." Basically, God goes through and kind of recaps the story and says, I came to you as a cloud so that people hear me speaking to you. They may always have faith in you also. Go to the people and have them sanctify themselves today and tomorrow. Make them wash their garments and be ready on the third day. For on the third day, the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai before the eyes of all the people. Set limits for all the people around the mountain and tell them, take care not to go up the mountain or even touch its base. If anyone touches the mountain, he must be put to death.
Oh.
No hand shall touch him. He must be stoned to death or killed with arrows. Such a one, man or beast, must not be allowed to live. Only
if they touch the mountain.
If they touch the mountain. Only when the ram's horn resounds may they go up to the mountain. Then Moses came down from the mountain to the people and had them sanctify themselves and wash their garments. He warned them to be ready on the third day. Have no intercourse with any woman.
Ooh.
On the morning of the third day, there were peals of thunder and lightning and a heavy cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast, so that all the people of the camp trembled. But Moses led the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stationed themselves at the foot of the mountain. Okay. So Mount Sinai was wrapped all in smoke, and the Lord came down upon it in fire. The smoke rose from it as though a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. This is what has always surprised me, is there are so many physical signs of God in front of them, but they still keep arguing and grumbling and testing God. Makes me wonder how often we miss the physical signs in our age.
Probably all the time. Like I need neon flashing lights.
Yeah.
And a smack in the back of my head. Don't you?
Yes.
What's he doing?
I have no idea. So Moses went up to the people or went down to the people after speaking with God and delivered all these commandments. I, the Lord, am your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, that place of slavery. You shall have no other gods besides me. You shall not carve idols for yourselves in the shape of anything in the sky above, or on the earth below, or in the waters beneath the earth. You shall not bow down before them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am jealous God, inflicting punishment for their fathers' wickedness on the children of those who hate me, down to the third and fourth generations, but bestowing mercy down to the thousandth generation on the children of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not leave unpunished he who takes his name in vain. Remember, keep the Sabbath day. 6 days may you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day of the Lord your God. No work may be done then either by you or your son or daughter, or your male or female slave, or your beast, or by an alien who lives with you. In 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but on the seventh day he rested. That is why the Lord has blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy.
Why do you think he said, nor your son or your daughter? But I didn't hear wife in there.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Go do this laundry.
Yeah, laundry and cooking. Who's going to eat? How are you going to eat?
I assume he's
You as
because he's
everybody.
not talking to just the men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I was making it funny. See,
Honor
aren't I hilarious?
hilarious. Honor your father and mother that you may have a long life in the land which the Lord your God has given you. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And you shall not covet your neighbor's house, nor covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male or female slave, nor his ox or ass, nor anything else that belongs to him. So it's interesting to know, and I don't know the exact, I'd have to cheat and ask Chat GPT, but there are differences between the way the Catholic Church breaks these down into 10 commandments
Yeah.
and the Protestant Church does.
How so? Well, now I'm intrigued.
I have to cheat.
You have to cheat?
I have to cheat because it has to do with the first part. Because if you notice, see, these are broken down right there.
Yeah.
But the first commandments, the first several, are all in paragraph form.
Oh.
So there's no real specific delineation. And it has to do with the graven images. Because I never have memorized these.
I'm really confused right now. Why would there be a difference? Should I pause it for a minute?
Nope.
Okay.
There we go. Every time I write a question, great question. Yeah, no, it's not. It's just a question. So the short answer is the commandments themselves are the same, but Catholics and most Protestants number and group them differently. Whoops. No commandments were added or removed. It's how they are divided, not what they say. So the core difference in one sentence, the Catholic or Augustinian tradition combines no other gods and no graven images into one commandment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Protestant traditions split those into two and combine the coveting commandments at the end.
Oh, that's.
So the Catholic numbering, the first commandment is I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before me, includes the prohibition of idols.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes on to you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Number 3, remember to keep keep holy the Sabbath. Honor your father and mother. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. Number 8, you shall not bear false witness. Number 9, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's goods. The Catholics split coveting into two: the desire for persons versus possessions. The Protestant numbering, Reformed, Anglican, and most evangelical, and most of the fundamental churches like Methodist, Baptist, Lutheran. You shall have no other gods before me is number 1. Number 2 is you shall not make any graven images or worship them. So it's a subtle difference.
Yeah.
But there is a difference, which is why there's so much uproar about the statues that the Catholic Church has.
Oh, because of the images.
Yes.
The imagery.
Yes. And then number 10 is you should not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor, instead of splitting it into person and things like that.
Interesting.
So the difference exists because the Bible doesn't number them. They're listed in Exodus 20 and Deuteronomy 5, but nowhere are they numbered. Different Jewish and Christian traditions divide them differently. All are ancient, and none are a Catholic invention to remove anything, which is a common. They say that the Catholics invented the way they're numbered so that they can get away with having graven images. That's the argument.
Okay. I think it's silly.
See, some people claim Catholics removed the commandment against idols. The ban on idols is explicitly included in the Catholic First Commandment. The Catechism denotes many paragraphs to idolatry. Catholics' use of statues does not equal worship. That is a whole different topic.
I was going to say, that's exactly right.
The Catholics split coveting following St. Augustine. Coveting a person is an interior sin against chastity. Coveting a property is an interior sin against justice. So there's your.
Interesting.
Hey, get out.
Interesting.
All right, where were we? Fear of God. When the people witnessed the thunder and lightning, the trumpet blasts, and the mountains smoking, they all feared and trembled. So they took up a position, position much further away, and said to Moses, "You speak to us, and we will listen, but let not God speak to us, or we shall die." Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid, for God has come to you only to test you and put his fear upon you, lest you should sin." Still, the people remained at a distance while God approached the cloud where God was. Well, Moses approached the cloud where God was. The Lord told Moses, "Thus shall you speak to the Israelites. You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make anything to rank with me. Neither gods of silver nor gods of gold shall you make for yourselves. An altar of earth shall you make for me, and upon it you shall sacrifice your holocausts and peace offerings, your sheep and your oxen, in whatever place I choose for remembrance of my name." And there's a note there. Oh, yeah, that's nothing. I will come to you and bless you, and if you make an altar of stone for me, do not build it of cut stone, for by putting a tool to it, you desecrate it. I shall not go up the steps to my altar, or you shall not go up the steps to my altar, on which you must not be indecently covered. Wow. Okay. Basically, wear your best to church. Don't
That's what that means.
And that is the end of chapter 20.
Oh, wow. So you got through all the commandments.
Yep.
Nobody can touch the mountain.
Yep.
The mountain's on fire, but still they have to be reminded not to touch it.
Yep.
Okay. And then there's thunder, lightning, clouds.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Very dramatic.
Very
kind of like what we see in the Ten Commandments movie almost.
Yeah.
Sort of kind of.
Sophie.
All right. Well, that
Ooh,
was
I got it
fun.
somewhere.
So that was a lot of rules. Oh, sorry, dogs. But did you notice? Well, I'm sorry, people can't see, but poor Sophie, the dog, she had a little toy, and Titus committed the
Oh, he covets the heck out of stuff.
that shall not steal.
He doesn't even want it until it's somebody else's.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. All right. Well, that was fun. I learned a lot. I can't wait to hear what comes next. So until next week, guys.
Or later today.
Oh, stop it. Bye, guys.